Hi everyone, I'm Izzy Hodges. I'm a senior here at HPA, and before I get started, I'd like to give a little bit of a warning before I start with this talk. I'm going to be talking about drugs and overdose, and if this is something that could potentially trigger you, you're more than welcome to leave the room. Okay, I think we can all agree that drugs are bad. Not the ones that we get at the store that run our pockets dry, but the ones that we see all over the news, street drugs. We all know of them. Heroin, meth, cocaine, but today I'm going to be specifically talking about fentanyl. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid, which means that it's made in a lab, that is administered in hospitals to treat chronic pain, especially for cancer patients who need that extra bit of relief. With that being said, it is extremely powerful and addictive, making it 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. Some of its common side effects include increased happiness, but also cause nausea, drowsiness, confusion, sedation, unconsciousness, coma, and even lead to death. But why am I talking to you about fentanyl and telling you all about it? Well, throughout this school year, I've been collecting research and learning about this addictive opioid and teaching preventative methods for overdoses for my capstone project. I chose this topic because of its personal connection to my life. In November of 2020, someone dear to me and my family passed away because of an unintentional fentanyl overdose. She was truly one of the most unique, lovable, and sassiest girls I've ever come to know, especially given how many hardships she endured at such a young age. She was only 14 years old when she passed away, which is about the same age as a fourth of the students here at the high school. Experiencing and going through the emotions of losing someone like her in our lives was tragic, and it's a pain that I would never wish on anyone. That's the reason behind all my research and the reason why I presented my capstone specifically to the freshman class. During these presentations, I taught them things like what fentanyl was, how it works in the brain, and preventative measures to avoid overdoses. Together, we watched videos on how to use fentanyl test strips and how to administer Narcan. At first, it seems a little strange to be teaching a bunch of 14 to 15-year-olds how to test drugs for more drugs, and then to also teach them how to reverse an overdose. But the freshman class is about the same age that she was when she passed away. I never thought that I would lose someone like her to something so small as a lethal dose of fentanyl, which is roughly the size of a pencil tip. Plus, teaching preventative measures works. Education and awareness works. We see it work with other things besides drug awareness, like sex education and trying to teach abstinence. Just hear me out. In theory, abstinence works. Not having sex will result in no unwanted pregnancies. Not taking drugs will result in no overdoses. But in reality, it doesn't work that way. People who don't know and are not taught about the dangers or negatives of something are more likely to experience it since they are not armed with the proper preventative tools. Not only am I teaching you today about the dangers of fentanyl, but I'm also teaching you why education and awareness works best when teaching students about heavy topics such as drug awareness. I, along with all other HPA students, are extremely lucky that we're given the opportunity to have conversations about drug awareness. However, that isn't the case with many other people, which is why my hope for my capstone is to spark conversations between different groups of people so that the message of education and fentanyl could be spread to others. Drugs have never been more dangerous. We see it all over the news and all over social media about more people dying. Fake pills are being made to make users more addicted, but instead it's only leading to a higher death count. I'm not presenting my project to high school students because I think on the weekends they're all going crazy and doing drugs, but we can help others in future generations by learning how to save others and avoid unintentional overdoses. Although this topic is uncomfortable, we need to have it. The tough conversations are the ones that better prepare us for the real world and keep us educated and aware of what's going on around us. So, I encourage you all to have these tough conversations and do your research. We don't fully learn unless we take that first step to get uncomfortable and be part of the solution. And in the wise words of the organization End Overdose, no one else has to die. Thank you.